Just know it. So in case you are looking for an excuse not to pray, not to build up yourself, know that you are cheating your world from experiencing your own uniqueness. These are the channels. And this is where our mysticism comes into play. Mysticism is just another word for spirituality. But it is the language of the age. Some people don't want to hear sci-fi terms in Christianity. Actually, it's sci-fi, Christianity or sci-fi. It is inevitable. Get ready to hear words like portals, gates, stargates, council, cosmic entities. It's the language of the age. Far back, some 1,000 years in human civilization, the language for transport. When was the last time you heard the word chariots? Horses and chariots. Apart from when it's preaching church, the chariots of fire and Elijah. Apart from that, when last did you hear it? You don't hear it again consciously because it's an obsolete language. But in those days, that was their means of transportation. Horses and chariots, horses and chariots, horses and chariots. So everybody. But today you hear of the jets, the Porsche. That's the language of the age. So when in tech age, it means that language will change. You know what you call third heaven or seventh heaven. If someone discovers the name of that seventh heaven and said, actually I was in a spiritual experience and the original name of the seventh heaven is the somebody give me a style title. Is the cosmical intertwine of the Zebulun realm. What will happen if I post it on Facebook? This guy. But what it does do? So get ready for more sci-fi language. We're in the age. As age advances, the language will change. Yes. So things like heaven and earth might become replaced with portal. But now we're entering stargate dimension. Stargate portal. I did not use it. Was when I started interacting with certain realities. I realized that they came from the stars, not heaven. And then we construct stargates to contact them. That's what I knew. Stargates. So these things will change. So also job descriptions will change. It therefore means that the functionality will evolve. Understand yourself as a unique being. Your functionality, what you are doing now, that job that you are doing now, you are only doing it here in time. There is an age the job will evolve. There is an age we will come into. There will be no such thing as, thank you, Papa, give it us. You know, Sterling banks, computers. Nothing like that. Because maybe by then there will be no banks, no physical banks. Maybe by then people won't be, let me say my mom, let me. You see that? That's why I said that your current job must be seen as a channel. Just a channel, just a tool. Don't become too sentimental about it. So that you can evolve. Not so that you don't have the excuse, I know my job now. My job is 9 hours. When am I going to pray? When am I going to do? When am I going to do this? Just the tool. A channel for manifestation. That's just it. Are you guys learning something? So, sci-fi terms. They are inevitable. Okay, just so that, and that's why you need to be fast. Read a lot, technology, because like I said, we are shifting to a tech age. What will happen in the tech age is that, there was a time I was interacting with an entity. You get to a target, and do you know that I know what I'll be doing in 700 years from now? That's how deep my knowledge has stretched by interaction. It is you that you are still here thinking of tomorrow daily bread. I'm not saying I'm going to live here 700 years, but after I leave, I know where I'm going to. I know that when you die, you sleep. Consciousness sleeps. I think this is the point where you drop the mic. Because for this life, Just drop my. Yo. Consciousness sleeps. If it sleeps, sleeps to what? Or away from what? While you are asleep, then you continue your journey in another realm. And then you are awake here, but you can't continue your journey in that realm. Because consciousness is asleep to that realm, but awake to this realm. And then when you go to bed, consciousness is asleep to this realm, but awake to that realm. I know what I'm going to do 700 years from now. But I like it here. Okay. So basically, there's so manage. Now the way thing is maybe tilling the ground in terms of carry, cutlass farmland, or maybe it was just speaking metaphoric, or maybe Adam did the house or stuff like that, or they were lodging things to eat or stuff. Oh no, your mind has not room there. Oh my God! You know what they were doing in the garden, right? So the whole thing they were doing was till the ground. That's the communication Moses is. You know why Moses used that communication till the ground? In Moses' time, the predominant thing they did was farming and agriculture. If they are not going to war, everyone is farming and then agriculture. That's what they were doing. Tending to things. That's what they were doing. So what they were doing predominantly was agriculture. Are you with me? What they were doing predominantly was agriculture. The mechanism through which angels, spirits, entities, name them, the mechanism through which they communicate realities or truth to mankind is through the agency of what you have around you. So, when Moses captured that Adam, the instruction given to them was till the ground. It was a sort of like, take care of this habitation. That was the message behind it. Till the ground. Just the same way, in the book of Revelations, and so many other scriptures like that, we see that most times if angels or spiritual entities wanted to communicate informations or truths to mankind, for example, you could see an angel riding on a horse, or the Lord Jesus riding on a horse, and then So that's the way people now assume that okay, maybe he's coming back again, he's going to ride on a horse from heaven. Amen. I was there, those times when I was not saved like that. Some people still think I'm a wizard. I don't know why they think I'm a wizard. You know that? Okay. So those times, so I think I said here, my best scripture this time was Revelation, and I like to read Revelation because it was scary. I love horror movies. So the best thing close to horror movies. And then after reading it, you now repent. Amen. Then go back again tomorrow and I repent. But that's not where I'm going to. Alright? So I used to believe maybe a lot of those things were literal. For example, the Lord coming down on a horse and then with a two-edged sword in his mouth. Do you believe that? I imagined that thing literally, like wow. So the Lord coming down on a horse to smite his enemies, two-edged sword. I was just imagining a tongue or a sword now, like this. One to the left, one to the right, like a serpent. There's a sword. And then as he was coming down, he just opened his mouth. And everybody's neck was slicing. I'm telling you, this is how I imagined it. Until when I began to go in wisdom, okay, even if he's even going to come literal, why does he need to ride a horse? One, two, why does he need to come and fight followers and use swords? And we are not even in the era of sword. We're using nuclear stuff here, nuclear weapons. So I mean, if you come with a sword, I come with a nuclear, we are finished. I mean, if you take it like that literally, So until I realized that, okay, so maybe the horse is a mode of communication. Do you know that if that text in Revelation were to be written in this day and age, it will be the Lord Jesus coming down in a train or in a Ferrari or in a Porsche? Yes, sir. Do you know? Why did they use horse then? Because a horse was the major form of transportation. So immediately you see a horse, you know it's a kind of movement, transportation. Now, we don't use horses for transportation again. A lot of the horses in the world are just used for exhibition, tourism. Just keep them somewhere in a stable, in a ranch. Nobody uses horse for transportation. If you say, that's why, now if you see a man riding the horse on the street, you will look twice. We are fascinated because a long time we saw someone riding a horse on the street. It's not a normal means of transportation now is the bicycles, the stuff like motorcycles, the buses. So the reason why it was used then was because that was the major means of transportation. And also several other phenomena like the angel blowing the trumpet. In the heavenlies, there are no trumpets there. He was trying to tell you that I'm making an announcement, but how do you know that the spirit is making an announcement when you don't know the mechanism for the announcement? So they have to masquerade it as what you know, a trumpet sound. So because in those days they were schooled that once you hear the sound of a horn or a trumpet or a shofar, it can mean certain things. It can be a battle cry, it can be a message, different kind of things. Now, even the fact that the angel could use a trumpet to trumpet doesn't mean there is no such reality like that. But it's not a trumpet, but there is a technology. But your eyes have not seen, so you can't relate. I'll come back to where I'm going. I just want to demystify, some things that will take ritual and stuff. Okay, let me leave that. So coming back now to the garden, and then I told you about tilling the ground. Suddenly, as I tell you this information about tilling the ground, now you now begin to ask yourself another question. Okay, what about the tree? That it ate from. Literal tree. But then I now read, I think it's in Corinthians, thereabouts, what they were talking about fruits of the spirit. Right? And spirit entities being likened to the tree, Jesus being likened to the tree and the vineyard and stuff like that. A lot of the things that you read in Genesis are metaphoric expressions. Because if you don't know what I'm about to say now, because I wanted to tell you the origination of jobs, the jobs that you are doing. That's why I'm going back to the beginning. So the moment you realize that we don't really have an idea, especially if you still claim that Adam was the son of God. I mean, if Adam was the son of God for Christ's sake, how is he going to come and then he was created and then he started tilling the ground and then your mind guiding? Okay, tilling the ground with what? Cutlass. Did you see any place cutlass or shovel? Only him was tilling the ground for who and what? Remember, it was in Eden, the garden of God. It's not outside though. Because all of the earth was not like Eden. That Eden is talking about his state. So he was there. So suddenly you now realize that, okay, so maybe it's not as literal as I thought. Maybe there's no literal tree and literal stuff and literal leaves and literal serpents, literal. If you have asked in vision, you will know that sometimes a lot of the things you see are metaphoric expressions. A lot of the times. And a lot of the times, if you time travel into the past, you will discover that almost 80% of the time, because I don't 300% generalized. 80% of the time, the time travel you are seeing, the events you're seeing in the past, they bring them in a kind of metaphoric description. For example, if you're almost going to see the face of maybe someone that lived back in the past, it's a two-way thing. But you almost likely will not see the exact face. They will just show you how the person look like. You can even, if you see the person's picture, maybe somehow, you might even know. But there might be a sort of blur. Because for some reason, the events in the past are sort of like veiled. For some reasons. So a lot of the things being shown are metaphoric. And then you find interpretation from them. That's why a lot of ministers have interpreted Genesis several ways. That's the proof for you. And so once you get that out of the way, that maybe he was actually doing actual farming implements and stuff. I mean, someone that named all the animals. Farming implements, how? How did he name all the animals? Maybe he gathered them to one place. Or to name the fish, he entered into the waters and then named the maybe 300 billion species of fish, but the one that we've not discovered. Do you know you can stand there and name things? You can stand there and in real time be seeing 30 zillion planets and then be shaping their essence. I mean, what Adam was doing in that name was just a sort of remembrance. But I don't want to go there. Because then we begin to talk about the past before Adam. Because the earth has been destroyed several times. You've never asked yourself what caused the destruction of the earth. And that's where we are heading if someone's not right. I'll still get to the topic. Yeah, relax. Follow me. We good?